Good afternoon, friends. My name is JM. I'm the JM of JM Fights MS with Oxygen. And if you're friends and family, you know me well. If you are somebody that has been that's received a forward or a copy of my campaign at GoFundMe, I appreciate you being here. Just wanted to say a quick hello and thank you, especially thank you to so many who have already forwarded, liked, sent on to others, and of course contributed to the campaign. At this very moment, we're actually 20% of the way there. We're getting real close to 20%, and I could not do that without all of you. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I really have been struck. Yesterday, I was beside myself, almost without words. Those who know me know that that's rare, but I really can't really form in the words to express how I feel about the generosity that you all have given to me in this situation. And frankly, I refer to the situation as my opportunity. This is my next mission, which is why the goal of reaching the $12,982 that I need to purchase a hyperbaric oxygen therapy chamber is in fact just the beginning of a mission and a new journey and a new chapter in my life. Those of you know me, I've had a variety of different backgrounds and careers, including I went to law school, I went to work for the financial industry, both in operations and then in a bank. I've worked as a financial advisor, and more recently I've worked as an entrepreneur for several different businesses. So with all that background, unfortunately, the central story which has been left untold has been my story of multiple sclerosis. In 2003, it was kind of a weird time. I initially went to the doctor thinking I might have a pinched nerve. It was really interesting. I'm gonna show you kind of what I went through. But whenever I would look down and look toward my toes, there would be like a sensation, a tingling, almost like somebody had hit a piece of tin foil with a hammer, almost that shimmering effect. And it would go basically from the base of my spine all the way down to my heel. And it was weird enough that I figured I needed to go to my chiropractor. And as soon as he heard the symptoms I was describing, he sent me to a neurologist. The neurologist sent me for a MRI, magnetic resonance imaging scan, and what they revealed were some small lesions on my brainstem. For those that don't know what a lesion is, basically, or even know what MS is, as briefly as I can describe it, if you were to take an electrical wire and strip the insulation off of it and then create a short circuit, that's effectively what happens with MS. The nerves in my brain are surrounded by a fatty layer of insulation known as myelin, and the body's immune system actually attacks the nervous system by eating away the myelin, stripping the wire, and creating a short circuit. So over the course of time, the body's tearing down of the myelin and then repairing it causes scarring, and that scarring is what's known as a lesion. And we typically see that in the brain or in the neck, basically the upper stem. The impact of that is that over time, that short circuit or lack of pure signal going from the brain to the nerve endings creates various levels of disability. So as some of you who've read my story on the GoFundMe page, I literally was in 2004 driving up the New Jersey Turnpike, and I had double vision. In fact, I put a patch over my eye so that I could basically see with my one dominant eye. And then what was a real circus was driving basically for the first time into downtown Manhattan with all of its one-way streets, all the lights and all the traffic going back and forth, and basically relying on God to get me through the city of New York. And then shortly after, attending a Broadway show where almost ironically I'm watching the Phantom of the Opera with his mask, and he's the Phantom of music, and I'm sitting here the entire show with my hand over my eye because one of the initial symptoms was that my right eye wouldn't track with my left eye. So in fact, to this day, there are still some issues that I have with that. When I look to the left, when I look to the right, one eye doesn't track as well. So anyway, that's how my story started. And fortunately, over the next 6 years, I was able, through interferon medication, to essentially live a normal life. Of course, if you can call normal taking an injection every day before I go to bed, which I absolutely hate needles. I've been known to pass out when giving blood, taking needles, so that was a whole new experience and a daily reminder that life was not normal. Now fast forward to the last few years, and some of those symptoms that include right side tingling. My right fingers are basically a little bit numb right now, and a drop step, which means my right foot doesn't plant where I expect it to go, and so I walk with a pretty noticeable limp. And then the other issue is fatigue. Just getting some basic things done like mowing the lawn, just walking across the yard after about 20 minutes. The fatigue is so great that I almost just literally have to sit down in place because I can't walk. I can't literally get away from where I'm at because of the fatigue. So these are some of the examples that many people with multiple sclerosis have these types of symptoms. So what I'm describing is not unique. But what is unique is the vision that I feel, this is personal, in my opinion, personal to me. I believe that God has given me this disease and this disorder with this opportunity for a reason. And I strongly believe that by exploring some of these alternative therapies that haven't yet gained great traction, but they certainly have gained some traction, and there's increasing reports and stories about the benefits of oxygen and oxygen therapy to the body's natural healing process, that I believe this is worth pursuing, and so much so that I think that with me pursuing it personally, it creates an opportunity for me to help others. So simultaneously to trying to obtain this hyperbaric oxygen chamber, I'm also launching a business, and you can read about that at my website, which is www.breatherva.com, and you can kind of get a sense of what we're doing. There's also a link to a tremendous book, a book I've used as a resource, authored by Dr. Paul Harch in Louisiana. The title of the book is The Oxygen Revolution, and I've been reading the 3rd edition, which has just a ton of very specific examples of where hyperbaric oxygen therapy has helped people with all sorts of disorders in addition to MS. Things like COPD, things like traumatic brain injury in children, autism, and cerebral palsy. And so it's with this idea that there are literally thousands of people who could benefit by having oxygen under pressure to basically help promote the inflammatory process in their own bodies, the way we heal. There are so many examples of people, getting significant improvement after experiencing hyperbaric oxygen therapy over a successive period of time. That I felt like maybe this was a time for me to take all those experiences from my past, the law background, the financial services, a little bit of sales, and then most recently as a project manager and basically as an entrepreneur, starting up businesses, writing business plans, doing marketing, and various sorts of things. All of those skills and abilities I feel are being brought to the fore now so that I can be effective and help others. So like I mentioned, we are almost 20% of the way to the goal of having a hyperbaric chamber. Very excited to be able to show you what that looks like when it arrives. As I mentioned on my page, there were some videos I wanted to attach so you could actually see what this looks like, particularly for people with MS. I think that there might be some blockers that prevent me from putting those out and sharing those in that forum, and that's okay. That's the reason why I'm also asking for a chamber, because as soon as I have a chamber, I'm going to be able to show you a video of me getting in the chamber, and hopefully we'll see the benefits of that in a short period of time. And it's those benefits that I hope are going to give me the strength. I don't expect that the chamber is going to cure MS. I do hope, based on other experiences, that it's going to give me more energy, more stamina, more clarity of thought process, and then combined with a lot of other things I need to personally do, such as diet, exercise. We all need to do better than we do. We know that, and that's to have the energy to be able to do that for me is going to be key. But I'm going to need to pick up some personal disciplines as well in order to make this therapy really effective for me. But once that's done, that's going to give me the platform in which to help and serve others. So thank you for hanging in for this fairly long intro, and thank you video. As I said, I hate to kind of do these videos too often because I tend to talk a lot, and I know your time is valuable. But I want to make sure you know that I am extremely, extremely thankful for your generosity. Some of you have given sacrificially already, and I know that those of you who are unable to give, it's okay. I know you're praying, you're sharing this video, you're sharing my link, and that means so much to me. I'm amazed at where some of the places we've connected on in the past. I've had two friends that I've just reconnected with from, if you can believe it, 7th and 8th grade. It's just incredible where the generosity comes from, and you can't predict it. I've learned recently, I've heard the phrase over and over again, maybe some of you have heard it, you can't outgive God, and I really believe that's true. Some of you are absolutely working hard at it, but God is at the very center of everything that's happening here. I believe everything happens for a purpose, and I think that purpose is going to be demonstrated and fulfilled by what you're doing and what God's going to allow me to do in the coming years. So thank you very much, and you all have a wonderful day. Until next time.